All right, I guess we'll start. My name's Shane Sealis. Welcome to the first Vermont Game Developers meetup. Thank you all for coming, especially through the weather. I'm really impressed with the turnout. We honestly expected 12 people, so this is really cool. Again, just thanks for coming. I should definitely give credit. The brownies my wife made, so please feel free to.
Spot on brownies.
Yeah, they're great. You should try them. Just to go over, so what we're planning on doing for this time is going through. We already did some introductions, skip that. I want to talk about who the group is for, the goals for the group, some logistics, an idea. I'll just share with you guys. That maybe could be something for the group, or somebody can just go off and do whatever they want with. We'll do a Q&A, and then we'll do a couple of 5-minute show and tell slots, and then we're kind of officially done. We'll have a half hour left for people to do whatever they want with, mingle, pull out their laptops, show whatever they like, and that's our plan for today. So just a little bit about myself. Originally, I was a professional software developer in Bay Area in California. I went back to school because I was really interested in evolutionary robotics. Got my master's, was doing my PhD here in UVM. Fell in love with Vermont and ended up leaving my PhD program to do game development. So now I'm a game developer. And, says who? Well, says me. Game development is not licensed, so if you want to be one, you are one. My co-host and nemesis and friend, Jeff Springer, would like to introduce himself.
How you doing? The nemesis part's pretty funny because Shane and I were both in the PhD program in evolutionary. We're doing evolutionary robotics. I was doing more stuff on the neural network side. I left the program first, you left the program shortly after. We're both developing games in virtual robotics, but separately. But we do collaborate or talk together and share ideas, and we hope that's kind of the spirit of this whole environment. I was a VP at my MBF Bioscience in Williston for 11 years, so we're developing software for brain research, and I quit that job, and when I got funding from the National Science Foundation to develop games for STEM education. So we're doing a robotic game for kids. We got something coming out next week. It'll go to a developer release first on Android and then in the App Store. So you have a chance to look at that, and we're just going to show that for maybe 5 minutes tonight. You're going to show something too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yes, what happens in my real job? My wife asked me that sometimes. She's been very supportive, actually. Yeah, so I quit this great job that paid really well, and now I'm in the game industry and learned from Marguerite that nobody makes any money playing games. So making games, so. But I'm in here for the long haul.
It's okay, ecologists don't make any money either. That's why I'm
We'll do
doing
research assistants. So who is this group for? It's for game developers, and just to be a little bit more specific, I mean that broadly. So covering programmers, 3D modelers, artists, writers, game designers, animators, concept artists, texture artists, composers, musicians, sound designers, voice actors, game enthusiasts, who I consider to be the larval form of game developers, and more that I haven't even been able to bake in. And the thing that I think is really interesting about this is each of these disciplines is really deep and rich in their own right. And either you have a lot of money to hire a ton of people to each do these things for you, or you wear a bunch of hats and you're like, I'm not really good at that. That's yeah, sure. So I had this kind of baked into the talk for just doing like name, what your specialty is, programmer, artist, whichever part of the game development spectrum you come from, and maybe that's even just your aspiration for which side you want to be on, and then just a favorite game. Like, not your most favorite. This isn't a hard question. This is just a favorite. So, my name's Shane Sealis. I'm a programmer, and a favorite game of mine is NetHack.
I'm Marguerite Dibble. I am a producer, I guess, more than anything else. I run a company, so that's what I do. And favorite game, I'm really close to 250 hours into Dragon Age 3. The DLC hasn't even come out yet for PS4, so it's been a dark couple of months.
It's winter.
Good.
My name is Garth Kaufman, and I'm an illustrator, and I do mostly actually tabletop games, but I'm interested.
Cool.
Love to play games, and I guess my favorite game would be the game I'm playing now. I'm kind of behind the times, so I'm playing Dishonored.
I'm Michael. I'm a game designer. I make money as a user experience designer, and right now I'm pretty hooked on Xenonauts. Yeah. The end.
I'm Tim Shaw. I work as a programmer, so I like to program games as well. Although I design more actively analog, like tabletop games. Favorite game, I couldn't get Steam to load, so I can't see what I
He's got data behind his favorite.
That's great. Well, we're going to go with Reckless Disregard for Gravity, which I apparently spent 20 hours, I don't remember. It's alphabetically my favorite.
Hello.
Is this it?
Yeah, please come right in.
How did you know?
My name is Edmore. I'm a business development producer, and I guess my favorite games are the Wing Commander or the Battlefield games.
Yeah, we've got plenty of seats on that side.
Yeah, there's some chairs back here, and there's a cable here, so it's kind of a bit.
Treacherous.
You can.
It goes on the air. The air will take to the air.
I guess it's me.
Oh yes.
Hi, sorry. My name is Bianca Costantino. I'm an illustrator animator. It's a toss-up between Shovel Knight and Binding of Isaac Rebirth for me.
Cool.
I'm Palace Saporin. My husband and I, we have a game company, Storyboard Interactive. I am I'm a head writer, but I also do business side of the production process. And I guess aspirationally, I would love to make a game like the Stanley Parable.
So my name is Chris. I'm a designer and programmer. I guess my favorite game, one of my favorite games is Fallout New Vegas.
I'm Alan, and I guess I would call myself a project manager on many things, from renewable energy to STEM education research, and I've never played a game.
Have you ever tried to manipulate a metric? Because those are also games.
I'm Sam Flintrop. I'm at best a hobbyist, just sort of started trying to get into game development, and my strongest skill set is definitely artwork. I was going to say my favorite game is either Psychonauts or Dark Souls, but considering that I have over 200 hours in the Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
And been working with educational software company for a long time. Programming started out a long time ago, and now I'm doing interfaces. I'm not a big gamer as such. iPad stuff.
Cool.
I'm Phil. I'm an animator and artist, and I do sound and music too. Work on a bunch of different things right now. What's your favorite game?
Oh yeah.
You can answer that.
A favorite, not the
I had to
favorite.
be long. I used to play video games a long time ago, and as soon as I got, I don't know, 3D. Even though I'm a 3D artist, and that's what I So then when Angry Birds came out, I was addicted to that for a couple months. And I was like, ooh, because it felt like I was connected to it, as opposed to
All right.
I don't play.
My name is Peter Fisk. I'm
about to seek crowdfunding for a game that has to do with safely reversing global warming. And you can, on the meetup, on my profile, I put the name of the website where people can find out more about it. My name is Peter Fisk. The working title for the game is Aerobotic, AEROBOTEC. You can find it when you look at my name. Thank you.
Cool. Maybe you want to put that on the whiteboard
Sure.
at some point. Yeah.
My name is Scott Effington. I'm a designer, and I think my most recent favorite game is Grow Home, which is a fun climbing game exploration.
I saw that. That looks cool.
It's really cool.
My name is Ryan Steinmetz. I'm a game producer. I've recently just completed a speed run of Banjo-Kazooie. It is my all-time favorite game, and I will play that forever.
My name's Phil Wellhauser. I'm a systems designer, and I think my favorite game is probably just the Halo franchise. It's what got me into gaming.
Sorry, I didn't mean to unmute. Total accident. My name is Charlie Hone. I'm an ecologist who somehow stumbled into here. First of all, I would say the game I'm going to mention is Minecraft, both because I'm really interested in it and because it drives me nuts because I'm an ecologist. It's like, what is that birch tree doing up there? That should be a spruce tree. It's on top of a mountain. So I've become interested in creating a game where the ecology, even if it isn't fully complex, kind of works. And so I have been working for years on this game to create that you're trying to defeat this invasive species, but the ecology is all moving, so what you do kind of influences all the native species too. And it languished in this like unplayable state for a long time, and then I met Shane, and so now it's a little bit more progressed.
Oh, I'm Aaron. I guess I'd say I'm a programmer. I want to know more about design though, because that's the hardest part. And my favorite game of all time would have to be Half-Life.
My name's Jeff Sprenger. I'm one of your hosts this evening, and I'm a software developer, recently turned game producer. In terms of games, my son kicks my ass in Halo 4, and also Forza Racing. He doesn't have a driver's license, I do, but he can outdrive me in Forza 4. I like Smash Hit. I've been playing that recently on my phone, on my tablet, and whenever I get a chance, and it's a pretty casual game. I'm sort of addicted to it. Shame for losing.
I'm Billy Knockenhauer. I am desperately trying to get into the game industry in any way I can. I really want to do game design, but my strongest talent would probably be in composition for music. My current... I have over almost 1,000 hours in Skyrim, but my favorite game is probably Borderlands the pre-sequel.
Cool. Guys,
Sure.
there's a chair here. There's probably in the back. You might be to the point where it's standing.
That's okay.
We thought we were going to have like 8 or 10.
Yeah, seriously, I expected my max hope was like 12. If we could get 20 people to sign up and then 12 to come, I was like.
If you want to blame someone, blame him. He told us all to come here.
Who?
No, it's cool.
It's great.
There's so many people interested in this.
No, that's awesome.
I live in Montpelier, and I guess there's a few there, but I haven't been.
All right, so we're just trying to do some intros. We're trying to go around the room, just say your name, your specialty, programmer, artist, or your aspiration for what it is that you want to be, and then tell us a favorite game. It doesn't have to be your most absolute, singular favorite.
And we have chips.
So it should be an easy thing. So I'm going to try to go around and just point at people that haven't introduced themselves yet. So do you want to?
Hi, my name is Kyle DeBona. I'm a soon-to-be graduate of Champlain College in the game design major. I also do programming and quality assurance testing. Let's see, favorite game?
A favorite.
My current addiction, favorite, not addiction, is Guild Wars 2.
Great.
What's the guys
Hi, my name is Dane Reinhardt.
I'm a software engineer for GE Healthcare in my other life. I also run a video game studio, indie, Wolf Games, LLC, out of Fairfax. We have 2 games on Xbox Live right now. We're working on one for Windows. The Xbox Live for 360 anyway was not the best deal. You might be able to make it and make some money that way, but you gotta put out a lot of games fast.
Interesting.
So, my favorite game?
A favorite.
Same thing. I spend way too much time playing Call of Duty, and I guarantee my wife will agree.
All right.
My name's Corey. I'm just a hobby game developer.
Great.
Trying to think of a game I played recently that I really liked. Yeah, I can't think of the name.
That's right.
Hi, my name is Nathaniel Jordan. I'm a UVM computer science alum. Been working in town for about 7 years now, in my minor, not in my major, unfortunately, so I'm pretty rusty there. I have a definite interest in game development, but have mostly just been picking at that with hobby design. Looking to, now that I've freed up some time, get into actually getting my hands dirty with some actual work on that. I would say programming is probably my area of strength, because I don't have any classical training in game design, but definite interest there too. Current preoccupations, Dragon's Dogma, recent favorite, Transistor.
I'm Fisher. I'm the sole proprietor and contributor to SMUgames.com. Total hobbyist, hoping to go pro one day. I hope to go to school for game design. I'm 19. I haven't actually put together the money to do that though. So that's step 1.
Great.
And a favorite game actually. Sorry. Favorite game, Red Alert 2. 1999-2000 epic.
I'm Zach. I'm a tech artist. And favorite game, I guess Fez.
I'm Jack. I'm a designer, programmer by trade. I'm also a senior at Champlain College, just about to graduate. We're sticking around though, starting our own indie company called Not a Hipster Coffee Shop. Mostly focusing on mobile games. I'd say like my favorite game is probably Super Hexagon. That one kind of goes out of style for me.
Cool.
Yes. Hello. I'm Chaz Alterman. I am a self-proclaimed character artist. I like both 2D and 3D work, but mainly focused around character stuff and animation. I too am not a hipster coffee shopper. And favorite game, Harper's Adventure. I've been playing that lately. Cool. On my phone, so I guess I would qualify that.
All right. Orson, I think?
Oh, yeah. My name is Orson Bradford. I'm a web developer right now, and I'm interested in games. I do a lot of analog game stuff. I don't know if anyone mentioned, but there's a different group, Low Cross Promotion. There's a game design group that meets on every Wednesday evening at perhaps a Magic Shop, and we work on mainly like board game and card game prototypes and stuff. But there's some interesting, general concepts that transfer between mediums. But I'm interested in potentially applying my skills, maybe doing like a mobile game or just a hobby.
Yeah, this is a group that I visited. It's really cool. I was initially planning on doing this group as very inclusive, for doing both board games and video games. But I went and visited with them, and they were already doing such a great job. I was like, you know what? We'll just have this be video games. They'll do board games, and it'll be great. I do definitely recommend it.
It's there. I see him over there.
All right. Please feel free to fill in. There's some chairs over here in the back. There's also some snacks and stuff.
If you can't sit, eat.
There's bathrooms down this way, past the kitchen.
Yeah, past the kitchen, and then kind of hook around.
Yeah, and I think we'll get started.
Yeah, we should get started.
Yes. Does anyone actually know we're here? It looks like we kind of snuck in.
Oh,
Yes.
I believe this is legit.
Okay.
Jeff can tell
He'll
me.
be stuck in.
Worst case scenario.
My office is right next door. Does anybody know what this place is?
No.
Vermont Center for Emerging Technology. It's an incubator. Okay, and so it's an affiliation with UVM, but it's not part of UVM. And there's another office on Main Street. She's down there on Main Street. We're still here. You guys were here before. And so for a very low cost rent, and if you're building like the next great game or something, you can talk to the guys who run this and apply to get in. We've been here since July.
Yeah.
And they know we're here too. All of us.
But we might need to find a different or bigger venue somewhere.
Yeah, it depends
We
how
should do
many people
Main
sign
Street
for the
next
next one.
time.
What's that?
Main Street's got some more space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple chairs. There's 2 chairs over here. There's 1 chair back here, just so you guys.
Yeah, I'll get my chair. Someone wants to sit down.
All right.
Would make
All right,
you
well-
awkward, Jeff, jeez.
All right. So the goals for this group is for it to be informative through talks and sharing of technical information and giving feedback to each other on their games. Also, it's to be inclusive. So all video game genres are welcome. All video game making tools are welcome. It doesn't matter what you're using to make games. It's just important that you're making games. Also, all video game makers, regardless of skill level and gender. I say gender specifically because the tech industry has really a pretty bad record when it comes to being supportive. We aim to do better. Also, a goal for the group is to be supportive and respectful. People are going to be showing their babies that they've been working on, and my hope is that you can give feedback and be critical, but also not just say like this doesn't work, but what would work. Like go that further step to what is your suggestion that they could do instead. And finally, networking. Like I want people to be able to find other people with other talents to help round out what it is that they're trying to do. Now, just as important as having goals, I think, are anti-goals. What is this group not going to do? This is going right back to all game making tools, but technical people oftentimes have a tendency to get very attached to the tools that they use and consider them categorically better. I mean, you have to choose, right? So you have to choose one tool to work on, not all of them. And I just want to reiterate that we're not going to shame people for the tools that they use. It doesn't matter as long as you're making games. Another thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to try to make a group game. This is not going to happen. Everybody's got wildly different tastes, and it's just a crazy thing to even consider. But I do hope that people will possibly splinter off and say who do have a shared idea or vision of what it is that they want to do, and feel free to go and make that game. I think that would be great. I mean, that's part of like what I think will be great about getting all of these game developers together. And finally, we're not going to have non-disclosure agreements. So if you have a great idea that you think needs to be protected, fantastic. I hope, I wish you the best with that. But I would ask that you not share those ideas that you aren't comfortable with, possibly being so good that people actually adopt them because you've given good feedback. I mean, I would hope that you would feel good about being able to give that kind of feedback. Some logistics. So when are we going to meet? We're going to try to do this once a month. Right now we're thinking that this kind of time slot of the 4th Thursday of the month at 6:30. We were thinking here, but I don't know if here will work exactly. So we'll kind of figure out the details on that.
I think it would help if after tonight, within the next week, like sign up early if you think you're going to come, because if we see the numbers up there, then we'll go try to find a bigger venue.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Does anybody have like major issues with this time slot?
We're
cool.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. Selection bias. So the meeting. So the schedule that I see for us, what each of these talks will be. or what each of these meetups will be, is something like this. We'll have somebody give a talk. I'm thinking the time slot will be something like 30 minutes, then Q&A for 10 minutes, and then we'll go through basically quick, rapid show and tell slots of 5 minutes each. And then we're basically, it's an hour and then it's done, and you're free to mingle, you're free to throw stuff out on the display, whip out your laptop, show people what you're working on. It's just, that part's unorganized. So, in terms of talks, the things that I would expect to have people like interested in would be, one, technical talks. There's a ton of different things there. There could be Unity animation, 3D modeling, different tools that you use that you could kind of give some kind of tutorial on. I think a postmortem of people's games that concern not only like the development, which not only the development, but also like the marketing and the sales numbers and what platforms actually worked. So if you've already made a game and you put it out there, please consider giving a talk to us about it. And I'd love to see game analysis. So one thing to say about that is it's got to be a little bit deeper than this is a good game. Like, you've got to talk about like what are the game mechanics, what's the game design, why do some game mechanics work well in combination, but if you try to do them separately, they do not work, such as if you have a permanent death kind of thing, and you don't have some kind of procedural generation, it's just bad. What I'd be really interested in hearing, and I'm going to just kind of open this up to the floor, is having people suggest talks that you want to hear, and if you have talks you want to give, even better. What would you like to learn from this group? Yes.
How to make money from games?
Ooh.
Give a talk.
That's a great. That's a great. Yes.
Working on something collaboratively or in an open source sort of way, as opposed to making money, or possibly ways to make money even if you do it so open source.
Okay.
And then connected with all that is stealing of ideas. I know I have some ideas, and I hope. They may just be thrown to the wind, and other people may work on them, and that can be okay. But I hope to get something out of it too.
That's good.
Failed projects.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn from a failed project, probably more than you can get from a successful one.
I have a couple of things. One is structuring your indie game company in terms of working as partnerships versus contracting out work, and learning from other people's experiences of structuring in these different ways. And then also just the very quickly changing indie landscape in terms of, price points of games and how they're changing, and how people are willing to work for, they were willing to work for free versus now not as much, so that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Or I guess this would be related somewhat to failed projects, but maybe like a title like There Be Monsters. Like technical problems you thought were fairly simple, but got really difficult quickly, and gotchas and warning spots and
more or less how to maintain confidence in yourself and your project as you're learning and progressing, as well as how to get feedback, network, meet people.
Yeah, definitely.
Best use of downtime in between jobs.
This is kind of related to the monetization and a couple other points already hit, but methods of releasing and targets and the technologies that can get you there, because I feel like that directs a lot of projects, is deciding that part, what you're targeting.
Great. This is awesome. Yes?
Oh, I mean, related to give, based on a lot of these questions. I gave a talk this fall at the Montreal International Gaming Summit about everything I've learned from 3 years of indie development, breaking down all the different methods that you can go and paths forward, so I'd be happy to share that if that's useful for people.
Definitely, that's great. I think we just had our first person sign up for a talk.
I had you signed up before you came.
I know.
I was curious about how people make money with apps.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've heard money a couple of times, right? How about make money with games
Well,
and what market?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I think I wrote it on my profile, it's just that I was showing somebody a game idea I had that was fully developed and a storytelling game, very simple. And the person just kept, why don't you make this into an app, make it a social networking thing. I was like, oh, that would be great, but I have no idea how to do it. And then I was kind of thinking, how would you, and at that point, how do you make money on it, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's see, we'll do 2 more and that's it.
Sorry,
No?
Jacob Slavy. But, how to communicate in the language of design, because like I've been a writer for a long time, but but basically every game-centric thought I've had has been in the form of a feeling, more or less a way I want the whole thing to feel. And I have no idea exactly how to communicate in the language of design.
Yeah.
Maybe
Last
not
one.
related to talks, but just on your part, it made me think it would be great if we could establish, or in between our meetings, some sort of resource for mentorship where people are willing to share information and, you know, help answer questions in a group setting, maybe like some sort of forum or something.
Yeah, I think that's
related to our other topics.
I think that's a great idea. And we'll do 1 more. Yes.
I think it might be a good idea to profile very successful and innovative game companies and figure out why it worked for the time of which it worked, and kind of predicting trends in the video game industry, but also what he was saying about bridging the gap between the visionaries and the actual developers. How can you get ideas and into practical hardware and all of so I think those could be 2.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. Wait, the thing I was afraid of was that, you know, I would say, who wants to hear a talk about what, and no one would answer. No one would be like, I don't want to hear about anything. I'm like, I don't. Jeff, what do you want to hear about? So, this is great. Really, that's fantastic. Yes, did it. Okay, so the show and tells are just going to be this kind of rapid fire, kind of open mic night. Show us what you're working on. And really it's just you answering the question, you know, do you want to see something cool? And we're all like, yes, and then you show us. So you can show us a demo of your game, you can show us a cool tool that you've been using in your game development that's been working for you. You can show us, you know, part of your app, your art portfolio, you know, whatever it is you want to show us. And this is, so that's pretty much like the layout for the group. Now I just want to jump into this idea that I want to share that anybody can do whatever they want with, please. Before I talk about it, I want to talk about, you know, what I see as being kind of one of the problems. This is the problem of discovery. Supposing you make it through all the hurdles and tribulations of actually putting together a game, which is a phenomenal accomplishment, and then you want to put it out there, maybe you're targeting mobile. These are the numbers that are scary about mobile. So, you know, the Apple App Store has 1.5 million apps on it. About 350,000 of those are games. And I don't know, if you are a small independent game studio and you're releasing like a game or 2 a year, I would think you would be doing, that would be great. That'd be a great rate, I think, to hit. However, each of those days when you do that release, you know, 370 other games are being submitted to the App Store on that day. So, like, the idea of trying to get, you know, featured, trying to be seen in this crowd of games is, you know, you need a lot of luck. And it's, you know, it's a kind of scary thing. And another thing that's happening too is the cost to try to get users. I mean, it used to be that you could well, let's see if I sell a game for $1 and I get like 10,000 users, then like great. But nowadays, you're having to pay to get the advertising and the marketing to actually get people to just install it. Maybe they look at it once and then they're done. It costs more if you're trying to get these loyal users. So, so instead of like 10,000 users a day, it's like, 10,000 users, that's going to cost a lot. So this is a big, scary problem for people who are looking to target mobile game development. And, so the idea that I want to, put out there is, what if instead of like relying on kind of basically keeping it all virtual, where you've got, some kind of mass market advertising campaign to try to, you're paying these people to try to bring you users. What if you did something different, something that was, local and cheap and, based in the real world rather than just having everything virtual. And my idea is to have some kind of like self-sufficient game demo. And I see a bunch of different potential venues for this locally. You've got Tilt, which is a awesome barcade. They have like kind of like a gourmet kind of burger food thing going on with pinball machines. Really fantastic place. You've got Generator, who's got their first year birthday bash happening this weekend, which I encourage you guys to go and check out. And they're just in the whole maker space. And then you've got a new kind of arcade that's going to be popping up called the Archives. So I think any of these places would. I haven't talked to them personally, so I can't guarantee anything at all. But I think they would be happy to work with supporting local game developers in trying to get their games out if they can do it in a way that's very approachable and fun. And so the small problem is this is my game at IndieCade East.
Is that a Ouya?
What's that?
Is that no, what is it called?
Oh, this is a Leap Motion.
Lock on. Yeah. Oh my God, we developed for that like 2 years ago.
And this is my buddy Charlie who's helping me out here do this demo station. So the problem here is this kind of demo setup where it's like, okay, I have a monitor and I have a computer, and in my case I have this weird, Leap Motion device or whatever. But like, that is not that's not something that I can see, any of these venues like setting up and being like, that's good. It doesn't even say necessarily that it's a game. If it was turned off, you'd be like, well, that's a computer, that's work, like who knows what. And so my idea is, what if we had like one of these little like mini arcade cabinets where you could host, your game that you made, not because you want to sell mini arcade cabinets, but just because you want to advertise your game and you can get people to play and have an experience with it, right away. And it comes in an attractive package. People look at this. It doesn't have to be on. You know that it's a game. You know what you're supposed to do with it. And so my idea is like maybe we could have like a mini arcade cabinet kind of that could roam around locally. Maybe we have like a local game of the month that could be hosted here, or it could have multiple like local games on it that people select. Like, oh, try this new one. And you could almost have this kind of a local games movement. Like instead of like organic food, it's like, oh, support your local game developers. So that's my idea. That anybody can go and run with and do it. You don't need permission from me. Maybe I'll actually end up doing this. I don't know, but I haven't done any real work on it. So I'm just sharing it with you guys, and we'll see. And that's pretty much the end of my talk. So this is Q&A session. You can ask about anything. You want to ask about the arcade cabinet. If you have different visions or things to do with the group, I like the idea of mentorships. It's free season. Yes, Orson.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
So we obviously have a lot of interest in this group.
Yeah.
And maybe we could have maybe not once a month, but once a quarter or something, a demo day that's open to the public. You know,
Oh.
so you could have a whole
Great
event
idea.
where people could come in for free, you know, and have
Yes.
you know, it's just-
I think that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
Lars would totally host it.
Oh,
The
yeah,
generator.
totally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or you could do it like an art installation at some place.
Yeah, I think a demo day is great, and I like the quarterly thing too. Yes.
Something that I think is interesting about the problem that you were saying about apps in the Apple Store through that platform, something that I'm more surprised people aren't doing, given all the social justice movements that are going on in our country, why they're not gearing it towards more web-based platforms and PC platforms that would be more available for low-income families, and partnering with libraries and other institutions to make these things readily available to a bigger population than just those who can afford Apple products.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on why that was.
I've heard that more people who don't have a lot of money have smartphones than computers, because I don't know if this is true, but I've heard it, because they're cheaper than buying a big computer. It's just an interesting aside, but I mean, Apple, they probably wouldn't choose an iPhone.
Yeah. And what's interesting is I noticed that too, they have smartphones, but in terms of laptops, it's almost always a PC or like
Yes.
another kind.
Absolutely.
Well, I think the problem that you're talking about solving though, right, is that you throw your game into the ocean, right? You're one drop and no one ever sees it. You never talk to them, and this is an opportunity, if I understand it, to like talk to people who actually play your game, you know, who are outside of your immediate family. I got my wife to play mine.
Yeah, which is success.
Check out other systems too. So Steam is, most of you I'm sure know Steam. A lot of things like Steam, Xbox 360, they have fairly cheap ways to get your game out there. They take a slice, right? But you know, you can, given the right business model, that you know, you can make money that way, right?
Thinking about, I like that box, you know, you have this basic box, if you put them all on something the size of maybe an iPad, and they round that way and they have the control set, and you have the basic box, it might be nice to couple with some artists that aren't like completely different artists to go, and you give them the box, they do something. You have the game that goes, maybe they can play the game, you see the game, they can talk to the person, do something based on the idea, so each one has the outside of the box resembles, and it's an art piece in itself. And the whole thing, you have numerous games that are all together, and then you go and you put it at in an installation like, I don't know if Echo would do it, but like something like that, and then I've seen that they have like game things where they actually, those travel. It'd be kind of neat if you made it interesting enough, and then you could have this thing travel from space to space around.
Yeah, I would love to see a little like mini arcade cabinet. If it was like a game a month, you know, there'd be like a sticker for each game, so you could kind of see the history or you know, who knows what. I think there's a bunch of stuff there. Yes.
So on the note of demo day and places where you can demo things, Vermont Gaming Community and Lab B, which is a local hackerspace, do monthly LANs where I'm pretty sure they would love to have anybody who wants to demo games and get feedback.
That's great. That's a
it's
great
really
resource.
nice environment.
Yeah.
Also, if anybody's interested in that, post something on the meetup. There's one coming up soon.
Cool. Yeah. Please post it on the meetup.
Yeah.
So I got two things. One is another platform that's really good to release on is if anyone's heard itch.io. It's a free platform. You can throw your game up there. It's you can either do donation-based gaming, or release, or just free, or just an individual price on it.
Oh.
And it's very good for if you're starting up with something like that. And it's browser-based or downloadable or something like that.
No, cool.
Another thing is PAX East. Actually, one of the things that they did at the Screw Attack section was they had individual arcade cabinets and a kiosk with a game that they were co-releasing with a development company that was in an arcade cabinet.
Oh.
So it was very similar to your idea, and it worked very well because there was a lot of kids playing that. And,
Oh,
I think
cool. Is that like the big kind of?
Well, it was like picture it like the newer in GameStop how they had the newer ones where it was just like a TV and it would be like a little table.
So you put it on a table?
Oh no, you would mount the TV on it and then there would be the controller that stuck out and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What was the platform name? There's Ish?
Itch.io.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what if I told you I already built one of those cabinets?
Oh, that's great.
I was doing a talk.
Yeah. So I've got one. It's just really old.
Oh yeah.
I will give you the stuff. or anybody the stuff that they want to build onto it. Right now it's running on a Dell Inspiron, not even, I think it's actually a Dell Dimension 2300 from 2004. So yeah, with new hardware, it actually should work really well. I have it set up with several game controllers.
Oh, wow.
Anything you want to throw on there would be excellent. I have it in a big cabinet I got at Goodwill. It's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Well, like, shoot me an email or bring it next time or whatever, and yeah,
I
maybe
do have a car
that's
big enough to bring it. So yeah, I'll shoot you an email. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Related, something else I was going to mention is I remember back in when I went to GDC one time in 2010, I remember seeing a company that had made a custom arcade box just for showing off a bunch of indie games on vacation. And since then, I've actually learned that there are a number of companies that specialize in A, making custom arcade cabinets like that, and B, making parts so people can make their own. And there's actually a fair number of guides for them out there that I've heard. Might do to actually hunt some of those down. But yeah, very much a thing that's out there and done.
Cool, that's great.
Glad to have the resources for that.
If you really wanted to capture the retro feel, if you on top of that, if you wanted to have like revolving games inside, you could have like a little slot with just wooden fake cartridges, with just like with a little SD card inside, and everything's lined up so that you can slot it in. Slot it in.
Can you make it so you have to blow on it before you?
That's cool. Awesome. All right. I don't see any
I
other
just wanted to
questions.
ask people, are they good with the format?
Yeah.
Are there things in
now
here you're not seeing? Does that work for you? Okay.
Awesome.
How many people in here think that they would like to give a talk?
Oh, good question.
Okay, so we have about 6 or 7 people. Okay, good. Because you don't have to, but we're going to encourage people to do that, because the more you talk, the more you share your ideas, the more we all get new ideas together.
So I want to think about developing some subgroups based upon interest or interest in networking with other folks that have different skill sets.
That's a good idea.
I think some kind of thing like I don't know if Facebook's the right forum, but like a Facebook page type thing where people can post and share ideas in between the meetings.
Yeah, has anyone used LinkedIn groups? Those can be great for that type of stuff.
Sorry, negative Nancy alert.
No.
I'm sure there's somebody here that doesn't like Facebook.
Have you ever had to send like 1 million emails?
Oh no, it's horrible. But the groups, because it's like designed a little more for professional stuff. So it's I hate Facebook. So that's where
I think I have an old LinkedIn account somewhere. I can
maybe some kind of
Slack's great.
Okay.
Google Plus, woohoo!
No, that's for Google employees, right? I mean, it's just. Okay.
So I think we're doing the
yeah, I think I think our timing's kind of perfect on this. So we're gonna do a couple of the show and tells. I'm gonna show you guys what I've been working on, and yes, 5 minutes. Well, it's hard to say, 'cause I don't trust myself.
I don't trust you either, Shane. It's all timing.
No, I've got it. All right, so
You forgot to press start.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You setup is included in that 5 minutes. Make it count.
Oh, well, I would never be able to share.
All right. Does it do anything?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
I just showed you some indie.
That's how you get the credit, yeah. Sometimes the Unity exports, if it's a certain dimension of display, it just it's having a bad time. Okay. Ah, look at this splash screen. That's my company of one. Okay, I need a volunteer.
Okay.
Okay. All right, come over here. we're gonna do 2-player. Okay. So you are the guy on the left. So try to keep your hand on this side over here. I'll be the guy on the right, and I win.
Okay, why don't we move you guys away from the screen? I'll play over here, and everyone can see. Here, we'll shuffle down here. Make sure
All right,
guys. There you go.
Okay, so all right, so hopefully you can see what is going on here. All right, try.
I think we should be filming you guys over here with the hand motions.
Baby spiders made. Oh, okay, you win. Lucky. All right. So now we're gonna.
Mutual assured destruction.
It's tied. It's a tie. Okay. Grudge match.
I think he's figured it out.
Go.
You're coming with me. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. 2 other people. I've got 2 minutes. You. Okay. Who wants to challenge?
Did you raise your hand?
Go for it.
Someone over there raised their hand. Sorry.
All right.
I guess you needed a hint.
Is that your voice, Darth Vader?
Yeah. This is me imitating Street Fighter.
Capoeira octopus, go!
No! All right, that's really cool. Thank you guys for trying this. It'll be out later. Jeff later.
That was very cool. Okay, so Aaron's gonna similar this.
You're not gonna say it.
Where's the kid?
Oh, do you need to sit?
I don't need to sit.
I can move.
You don't mind. You can take this. Alright.
She's 6 months old, so she's.
Oh, you mouse in? Yeah. Okay.
Right now, if you lay flat, the other person will usually accidentally fall.
Okay, so this just a little intro to this game. Part of our funding was to develop Neurobotic, which is neural networks, evolutionary algorithms, and robotics. And we've gone through the first part of our funding with National Science Foundation. We have to wait until like September, October until we get our second part, if they even give it to us. So in January, we started creating another game, because this is something we tested in Williston Central School. We threw it together like in 1 week, right? And we brought it out to them, and the kids really liked it. So we turned it into a game. It's got like, we're shooting for 15 levels, and it's going to go out on Android tablet and also iPad, although you can play it on your phone as well. It does work. And really what we're doing is we're trying to just figure out how do things work, like in the App Store. Like we're putting it out into Google Play, into the App Store, and we'll say, well, how many people will download this thing if we just keep spreading the word? How many people actually will pay for this thing? Are we crazy to be in this business? Which I suspect we probably are. So this is really about learning and getting ready for what is a much bigger project later on, so we don't screw up everything on the big project. So we'll have other things we screw up. So Aaron has been working on development of this for 2 months with me. So done in Unity. Most of you people have probably heard of Unity.
Yeah, and it's called Zembot. So I think I'll start with level 4.
So this is for kids to learn about robotics.
So the idea here is that we're sort of trying to push them towards automation. So in the first few levels, you move the robot arm around on your own, and you have to do things, push things off of pillars, or pick things up, put them in bins, and then you start automating. So I have to go through this little tutorial. No sound? I think you got sound. Yeah, a little sound. Can you hear it? Yeah.
A little bit.
So
More
basically, what you have to
would
do
be
is
good.
save positions to drop cubes into the bin. So you can do things manually. You can say, all right, I'm gonna come over here, pick you up. Oh. Yep, we have these Nice little robot sounds we made.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, can get a little irritating, but you know. So you start out, you can do things manually if you want, and be like, oh great, this took me some time, and then you plop them in here. Done this so many times. And he's happy. Yep. Teleports in. So now what you need to do, in order to do this quickly and efficiently, is you have to save positions. So you save a position. Oh, that's loud.
Yeah, it's a little loud.
You save another position.
Oh god. Oh god.
You already know it's me.
Game over.
Alright,
Okay, hold on, I gotta set the input.
a little behind the scenes here.
No wonder I'm not allowed using this thing at home. Where's the input button?
Press the
Where was it? Input. Okay,
I know
input.
some people are
Right, we go to HDMI 2, right?
What, you don't want it, Brownie?
Oh wait,
Alright,
there's
we're back. I'm gonna turn the volume.
So let me show you what happens when you drop on the floor. If you make that mistake, then you don't like that. So I've got a position saved here. Open the grip, save another position, and now I can quickly and efficiently drop cubes in the bin just by loading positions. So you're basically trying to get them to understand that automation helps you. So then you go to this, and you have a set amount of time to get as many cubes as you can. And so in the beginning, the user is essentially sort of deciding the timing of this robot, deciding when to drop it. If you time things wrong, then you throw it, which is actually another level. So you gotta get over here, wait a second, and then drop it. And they all teleport in and they're happy. The idea was to give some personality to sort of automating a robot. Yeah.
So sad being running on.
Yeah, they're just sad. There's also angry cubes, which we'll show you in a second. So later on, there's things introduced such as sorting. So you have you have cubes. This is an angry cube. See that number on top of him? As soon as you grab him, you have to get him in the red thing.
Whoa!
No, go. So the angry cubes are impatient, is sort of what we've done. So here you have to automate to save low positions to basically get the sad cubes in the blue bin and angry cubes in the red bin. And if you put an angry cube in the red bin, let me show you what happens. It's nice and easy. Okay, give me an angry one. So I'm mercilessly sacrificing cubes here to get an angry one. There we go. Okay. So you put them in here, which you shouldn't do. And then it pops up in there. And yeah, exactly. So that's sort of the game in a nutshell, is automating, and later on levels you get 2 robot arms. You have to automate both of them. This is a tricky level. And then so you can do a lot of, when you save a position, it saves both their positions.
So they have to pass a cube between them.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try and attempt that. That takes some time, but you can very quickly do Thriller. And then there you go. And that's Simba. You guys liked it.
It's on the rail. Well done. That was 5 minutes. Exactly.
Was it 5 minutes? Okay, there's one more thing though. There's also a rail you can move along. So don't mind that joint sort of sliding out a little bit. But so this is, so this is one of the levels where we had to give up physical control. On the other levels, you are actually gripping the cube with real physics, but on this level, if you try and go along the rail, it just flies out. So this is where we fake the cube grip. But yeah, so that's sort of all the different features.
So we learned a ton about the physics engine in Unity, colliders, mesh colliders versus static or block colliders, static colliders. A lot of stuff that we'd be happy to share with you guys. Banged our head against the wall. So this next week, April 1st, we're pushing out 14 or 15 levels into a developer release. So we have a sheet here. If you want to just throw your name and your email down, and we'll put you on sort of the Android developer or beta test list, and then you can download and try it.
You can try it out.
Give us feedback.
Yeah, I'll have that right up here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. All right.
All right.
Your things there.
Yeah.
How long do people take to get sued?
The quicker the better.
All right. So the official scheduled organized part of this meeting is now done. please feel free to stick around for the next half hour, mingle. If you want to put stuff up on the screen, great. If you want to just pull out laptops, show people stuff that you're working on, great. Next time when we have 4 show and tell slots, I don't know exactly how we're going to allocate those. I don't know if we're going to try to get people to sign up for it beforehand or just impromptu in the meeting, first come, first serve. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if somebody has a good idea.
I say we'll just wing it. People feel like they want to show something, show it, and if the slots are empty, then we'll finish it.
Actually, I just had a thought. Could I show and tell music composition?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, art, music, whatever the components are that go into games that you're doing, making yourself, or tools that you're using.
One of the things that I want to show is Pure Data. I don't know if anybody's used Pure Data before. It's a sound generation tool. So it's along those lines because we couldn't get the sounds that we wanted by sampling. So the motor sounds are done with a sound generation tool rather than sampled. Wow. It was a long afternoon. It should be easy.
I thought you were trying.
And our next meeting is going to be on April 23rd. So we're going to try to stick with every fourth Thursday of the month, and it'll go up soon on Meetup. I hope to see you guys there. I hope to hear your talks. Oh yeah. So okay, we're done. So thank you all for coming.
Please eat the snacks, otherwise Aaron and I will eat them all tomorrow.
So this is Cardboard VR from Google, and it is kind of an amazing experience. If you haven't tried this, I really encourage you to take a look at it. I've actually found it more compelling than the experience I've had with Oculus. So that's crazy because this is $2, and Oculus is a lot more. And also in terms of targeting the market, Oculus is probably going to be a pretty small market. But everybody's got a smartphone, and for $2 piece of cardboard, it's pretty good. So anyway, anybody who wants to try this out, because this is you can't get this experience through YouTube or through a video. You have to actually just hold it up and do the thing, and when it works, you're like, wow, I can't do that. So. What's up? If people want to bring snacks to next meeting, please feel free. I don't know who organized bringing snacks already. Was this you, Jeff?
I brought some stuff, and you brought brownies.
Brownies. My wife made those brownies. They're delicious. Please feel free to have some. And it does really work. This is okay.
Wicked headache.
The funnest part is watching someone else use it.
Just pass it around.
Yeah, I think Android works.
All right.
Yeah, it's got 2 different parts, so let's see.
Yeah.
And I think you can
Apple cider in the back.